We're looking at question 8 on the AP Statistics Midterm Review packet, and in this one we have to read all of our choices. It says, which of the following is not true? Now, what's good about these problems in the review is don't just kind of go through, oh, true, false, because sometimes the wrong answer is the right answer for a different question. So some of our choices there might be wrong for this question, but they might describe a characteristic or give a definition that is relatable to a different question. So we're going to read through these and just be careful and analyze some of the properties behind them. So choice A says, in a symmetric distribution, the mean and median are equal to each other. And that's a true statement. When you have a symmetric distribution, x bar, which is your mean, is equal to your median n. So that's true. So the answer is not A. So if we read B, 50% of the scores in a distribution are between the first and third quartiles. Now realize the first quartile is Q1, the third quartile is Q3. That kind of relates back to the idea of IQR. And so IQR is the difference between your Q3 and Q1, and 50% of the information lies in that difference. Now notice I said the word difference. That is a number. IQR is not an interval, it is a value. So that is something to keep in mind as well for B. So B, that's true. C, in a symmetric distribution, the median is halfway between the first and third quartiles. Well, I can actually use kind of choice B to help me with that. The median is technically your second quartile, but we never refer to it as that because 2/4, halfway between. And so if I look at it, my Q2, my median is between my Q1 and Q3. It's halfway in between when it's symmetric like that. So let's look at your choice D. Oh, by the way, even think about how you find the median. You cut the data in half, then you cut the lower half in half, and that gives you your quartiles, or the upper half in half. So really, you can see how the median is going to be that. If I look at choice D, the median is always greater than the mean. Now that's interesting. The median is always greater than the mean. That has a very definitive word there, always greater. So if I can find a false example, that means that D is false. So that definitive word kind of draws me there. So let's kind of figure this out. If I have a distribution, one way where I can have a mean that is going to be larger than my median is if I make it right skewed. If I make it right skewed, my mean is going to get pulled into the tail a little bit. So we'll say that's about where x bar would be. And my median would still split the area underneath in half. So in that case, the one I just drew right there, that is a mean that is greater than my median, which means I just drew an example that makes D false. So I'm thinking that D is going to be the wrong answer. It's false. That's only true when it's right skewed. But I'm still going to read E to be sure. So if I read E, it says the range is the difference between the largest and the smallest observations. So another way of saying that is your range is the max minus the min. That's true as well. So I can tell you that E is true. And also notice this advice. Again, just like IQR, range is max minus min. It's a number, not an interval. So those are two good pieces of advice that, by the way, on multiple choice, those could be wrong answers, trick answers. So it's really important you understand that stuff. So I am going to say the answer is D for this one. So we have the median is always greater than the mean as a false statement. Hopefully this helps you out with question number 8.